Hello everyone, what's up? My name is Nimble Sloth, and today I'm going to be here to show you technically what I'm calling Prime Speaker Bant, but it's pretty much just Bant Midrange in Standard right now. I've been having a lot of success with this deck online on Cockatrice because I'm too cheap to get MTGO and I'm using a Mac, and it's just a pain in the backside trying to download MTGO on a Mac because you have to do a load of crap that turns your Mac into a Windows for some strange reason, because Wizard seems to hate Macs. So, yeah. I've been running this deck for about a few weeks now online. I've been having a lot of success with it. And it pretty much stemmed from an idea of when I was running a Bant combo deck using Archangel Thune, Rising Chimera, and Fathom Mage. And I kind of realised that the deck concentrated too much on the combo, and it was like the deck was powerful enough without having the combo in it. Like the combo actually just made the deck inconsistent, and like it would work better as a mid-range deck using Archangel Thune just to make you guys bigger. And I decided to make a few changes to the list, and I ended up cutting Quarter Calling out in the end and taking out the whole combo, and it's just pretty much a Bant mid-range deck now. I've been having a lot of fun with the deck, it's been very good, and so I'll just get onto the list now. So to start off, we have all our creatures here. You have your mana ramp, because most of the cards in this deck do cost 4 or more mana, and so having the mana ramp being 4 Elvish Mystic and 4 Sim Carroted really goes a long way to trying to get into those big spells early on in the game. Then you have 2 Voice of Resurgence. You could run 4, but I like 2 in this. It's just good. It's just a good value creature. It's good against mono black and blue white control, because if they want to what's it called? Dissolve, say, one of your spells during your turn, then you get a token. And it's even good against the aggressive deck simply because you block with it, you get a token, and that token can also be another blocker. So it's just a very good all round very good card. Next we have the 4 Corsair Crucifix. It's a green deck, so it's going to be running Corsair Crucifix, and I like 4 personally because it works really well with Archangel Thune. So then we have 2 Pelucranos, very good for clearing small guys off the board. Even if your opponent has a big guy, usually you can pump him up enough with his monstrous to kill off their creature, so he's very good like that. Just in general, a very powerful creature to have. Then you have the 3 Archangel Thune and the 1 Prime Speaker and 1 Aetherling. I could be running 4 Pelucranos and 4 Archangel, but the Prime Speaker and Aetherling are kind of like the 4th Archangel Thune and the 3rd Pelucranos. But yeah, Prime Speaker is just very powerful. If you go and play a Pelucranos on turn 4, then turn 5 play a Prime Speaker, you're drawing 6 cards there and then. An Aetherling is just a creature that if you drop it, usually the opponent's going to have a very difficult time trying to get rid of it. So Aetherling is, I guess it's like a win con on its own, so yeah, it's very powerful. Then we have our Planeswalkers. These are the other big spells of our deck. These are why you're not running like a full suite of like, I don't know, like 12 4-drops and higher, like something like Gen Monsters does, with 4-drop creatures and higher. So instead you're running your Planeswalkers as the bigger spells as well. So we have Ajani, Mentor of Heroes. His +1 to put 3+1/+1 counters can be very relevant against a lot of decks, just for simply beating over larger things, or if you're going up against like a small aggressive deck that's trying to kill you quickly and you drop an Archangel Thune. And if you're able to put 3+1/+1 counters on the Archangel, attack in, gain a bit more life, it can be very, really helps out. The +1 to be able to look at the top 4 cards of your deck's very good, because we do have 21 creatures and 5 Planeswalkers. So roughly half the time he's going to hit something, so he's good like that. Then we have 2 Jace, Architect of Thought to help dig for our deck, and he's also very good against things like Rabble Red and Mike Weenie decks, where you just make all their 1-drops and 2-drops pretty irrelevant. And then Elspeth Sun's Champion, because she does just win games on her own. The -4 to destroy all creatures of power 4 greater does seem like it would kind of be a bit clunky with the Pelucranos, Prime Speaker, Aetherling, and Archangel. But half the time, if you're going against Gen monsters, they're usually playing bigger creatures than you, so Elspeth helps deal with those. Then for enchantment removal, or removal that is enchantments, we have 1 Banishing Light, 3 Detention Sphere. I'm running 1 Banishing Light and 3 Detention Sphere instead of 4 Detention Spheres, simply because if they Banishing Light, well, it's good if you're going against opposing Detention Spheres, an opposing deck with Detention Spheres, because you can't target their Detention Sphere with your own Detention Sphere. So having the Banishing Light to be able to exile one of their Detention Spheres is really awesome. So yeah, I just like this package. And then for the instant speed spells, we have 2 Azorius Charm, 2 Selesnya Charm, which is kind of removal. It's a way to beat over slightly bigger things. And 2/2 White Knight can be relevant. The Azorius Charm, usually you're going to be using it as kind of like soft removal, just to put a creature back on top of his library, the opponent's library. And also being able to give all your creatures lifelink when you've got a ton of creatures and a Archangel. It's very, very, very powerful, just being able to trigger Archangel 3-4 times in one turn, or during one damage step is just very powerful, or after the damage step even. The cantrip's nice, but it's probably the worst part of the card. And then 2 Sphinx's Revelation, because you will be generating quite a lot of mana with this deck, with the amount of mana ramps. And this deck, like, once you get into the mid-game, if you can survive into the mid-game, where you start dropping all your big stuff, you're usually going to be in a very good position and you're going to be able to grind out. So that your Sphinx's Revelations will pretty much end up winning you the game. Then with the mana base, we have 2 Breeding Pool, 4 Hallowed Fountain, and 4 Temple Garden. Yeah, I don't really know what to say exactly. Skylands, we have 1 Temple of Enlightenment, 3 Temple of Mystery, and 4 Temple of Plenty. This deck does lean a little more on the white than the blue, so also you really want the white early on for the Voice of Resurgence if you draw it, and for Banishing Light, and stuff like that, and Detention Sphere. So we do have enough blue, like with the Avimarcos, the Hallowed Fountains, and the Temple of Mystery. So it's slightly heavier on white than blue, I think, but it's still pretty much even the whole way through. But yeah, and then 2 Mutavault, because it's a blocker if we need it to, it's an extra attacker if we need it to be. And then Nykthos can be really good, because most of our cards do end up providing a fair amount of devotion to green, like the Corsair Crucifix, Pelucranos. If you have a couple of these guys out, and Prime Speaker as well, if you have a couple of these guys out, you can usually generate an extra your mana's worth from Nykthos. You tap your 3 land, one of them being Nykthos, and then you end up generating 4 or 5 mana. It does go a long way in a deck with Sphinx's Revelation. So yeah, So yeah, that's pretty much the main deck. And then for the sideboard, I have 1 Deicide, 2 Dispel, 3 Miska Hydra, 2 Negate, 2 Nyx Fleece Ram, 2 Polymorphous Jess, 1 Root, 1 Defenses, and 2 Supreme Verdict. So the Deicide doesn't really need any explanation. You bring it in against things like Mono Blue to get rid of Thassa, and you bring it in against any deck that's running a lot of enchantments themselves. So things like Blue-White Control, if they're in Detention Spheres, Blue-White Devotion, I guess. It's just a good card. Probably the best enchantment removal in Standard. So then you have Dispel. It's just good against any deck that's running a lot of removal. Also very good against Burn. 3 Miska Hydra for Blue-White Control and Mono-Blue matchups. 2 Negate. Once again, it's coming in against the things like Burn, Blue-White Control, Mono-Black, Jund Planeswalkers especially. Jund Planeswalkers is one of your difficult matchups. Like, you've got an okay matchup against you, like smaller aggro decks, like Rabble Red, White Weenie, and then it gets a little bit more difficult when you go up against Green White, and Brave Naya. But usually deciding your Polymorphous Jess and your Supreme Verdicts and Nyx Fleece Rams for those matchups, and you can usually get through it if you're able to like get off a Supreme Verdict, and then you play one of your bigger things, because usually once you get to like 5-6 mana, you will be playing bigger stuff than them. So if you can get off a Supreme Verdict or a Polymorphous Jest and destroy their creatures, and then play someone yourself, then you're usually going to be in a very good position against the aggro decks. Then against control decks, like mono black's pretty okay. It's not a too difficult a matchup. Pretty much everything in your sideboard, apart from Nyx Beast Ram and Mystic Hydra, is good against mono black. Dispel helps against any removal. Deicide gets rid of opposing Underworld connections. Negate, once again, for removal. The Jests is just good for solving opposing Desecration Demons, and if they have Pack Rat, then, well, if they have a ton of Pack Rats, it's good if you have a load of creatures to block with. Root-born defenses, I wouldn't really side it in against anything except blue-white control, the Planar Cleansing variant especially. But I guess you could side it in against mono black. And then Supreme Verdict's just very good against any deck that's running a ton of creatures. Pretty much any aggro deck you want to be siding in the Supreme Verdicts and Polymorphous Jest. Any kind of mid-range deck like green-red monsters, you want to be siding in the Jest. I know the negates, like just being able to counter a Planeswalker could be very powerful. Being able to counter a Xenaghost. Jund Walkers is a lot harder, a lot more difficult matchup. You want the negates and dispels for that. But yeah, that's pretty much the deck, guys. So let me know what you think of it down below. Also, thank you to the MTG community for letting me upload this onto their channel. And if you like this video, be sure, if you haven't already, to subscribe to the MTG community. And then look down below for my link to my channel. Check my channel out. I usually only do Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, but I stopped playing the game about half a year ago now, and I haven't made many videos. So I will be doing some Magic stuff on there from now on, and you can expect to see a few games with me playing this up on my channel within the next couple of days. So yeah, just like the video if you did enjoy it, and I'll see you guys later.